Nanking Non-Massacre as implied by the suicides of two angels of Nanking, martyrs. Iris Chang and Mimi Vautrin must not die in vain. Fabricators. Chiang Kai-shek and Li. Executioner. Qian Xinmin must not be forgiven. Liberators. Mao Zedong, Doihara Kenji and Wang Jingwei. Their spirits live on. The so worldwide well-known and famous USA government's final and official report about Imperial Japan's army in the WW2 named the IWG report that was publicly issued in USA in 2007, wasting USA tax money of $30 million and 8 years and 7 million historic documents due to strong requests from the Han Chinese from Communist China and the Korean, South and North, living in USA. Concluded finally and officially that USA government could not find so-called war crimes of in the WW2 as Han descendant members of the Global Alliance for Preserving the History of World War II in Asia, GAPH, that is mainly organized by Han descendants in USA from Communist China. Propagandized not only in North America but also in the world. USA government could not agree with propagandas of GAPH, in spite of many historic propagandas and fictions by communist Hans from communist China and the Korean, South and North. Descendants not only in USA/Canada, but also in Australia, Germany, France, communist China and Korea, South and North, Japan and other nations in the world with no real, concrete and justifiable historic evidences and proofs. NFOEL is some covert historian who sent me these information because I'm known as a Japan sympathizer on the net. H.J. Timperley was an advisor of the International Information Division of the Central Propaganda Bureau of the Nationalist Party of Chiang Kai-shek from 1939 to April 1941. Harold John Timperley, 1898-1954, Australian, newspaperman of Manchester Guardian, who wrote the book titled What War Means, 1938, based on the Nanking incident in 1937, is already proved to have served for the Chinese Ministry Information, Chiang Kai-shek, with monthly salary of $1,000 as an advisor and got big money to write that book for a propaganda against Japan. Namely, the Nanking incident was completely a fake story and mere propaganda. From NFOEL. Chinese soldiers killed by Chinese supervisory units, command groups behind the front lines. I personally have enough information to say that the spies under Chiang Kai-shek and Li, headed by Qian Xinmin, created the infamous Nanking Mass album and most likely did the massacre. Camouflaged and with cooperation from Chang's military buddies from Japan, did the massacre in the Torpedo military camp, of which Japan actually made an animated video.
Nanking Fish Thunder Camp Massacre 鱼雷营大屠杀12-16-17-1937
https://www.youtube.com/watch?VUWYOC_earns. From NFOEL. The American correspondent F. Tillman Durden reported in the New York Times that he had witnessed on December 15th a lot of bodies of dead Chinese soldiers forming a small mound 6 feet high at the Nanking Yijiang Gate in the north. Concerning this mound of Chinese dead, Professor Takushi Kasahara interviewed Durden on August 14, 1987. Durden stated that the mound had been formed before the Japanese military reached there and that the Chinese soldiers had not been killed by the Japanese military. He said, the bodies were Chinese soldiers who tried to escape. I think that the mound of bodies had been formed before the Japanese military occupied there. In that area there was no combat of the Japanese military. The only evidence we have is the two angels of Nanking took their own lives under similar circumstances for not being able to live with the lie that have been propagated as truth since.